know, but how many know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get. Like, you're gonna have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
Y'all want to get closer to each other?
No, because then his body heat's gonna be making me hot.
You only hot because you got that coat on, girl. Stop it.
I'm real relaxed.
Fly, babe. Yeah.
You ready? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Break Free Podcast with your girl, Free. And today, I have the couple of the century, and they're here to talk about the art of flipping bricks. Please help me welcome Doug and Real Estate Blondie.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
it's a pleasure.
us.
Thank y'all for coming.
Definitely.
Thank y'all for coming. I'm so happy to see y'all.
Me too.
Absolutely.
So happy to be here.
And before I say anything, I just want y'all to know, y'all are goals. Relationship goals.
Appreciate that.
Yes. Congratulations. Y'all coming up on 25
years.
years.
25 in July.
Deuce
That's
5.
right.
Deuce 5.
Yeah.
Bondi, if I had a hat on, I'd tip it off to you.
Thank you. Okay.
I tip it off to her, too. Thank you, babe.
Okay.
Woo.
It was a journey.
I can believe it. I can believe it. So let's go back to like the days in Indiana. Doug, before we got, let's talk about the other bricks.
The other brick?
Yeah.
Well, I just real quick, me and Blondie both, she's my angel, we both from Indianapolis, Indiana. So I think we met each other when we was about, 20 years old?
21.
21 years old. I was in the streets, saw her at the skating rink.
Yeah.
My boy wanted to holler at her. He kept playing around. I hollered at her, gave her my number.
Yeah.
Fast forward, she never called me. I used to see her.
Threw it away.
I used to see her around the
He
city.
was stalking me.
I was pursuing her. I was definitely pursuing her, not stalking. So anyway, one day, she used to have a few jobs, but one she had at the shopping mall. So I think her car wouldn't start that day or something. So, I'm going to go get me some cool new threads and stuff like that. I come around the corner and I see her. And her hood is up on her car. And I was like, I got her now. So
he had to have an air tag back then.
Girl, I was like, because you know how Sears would come out and jumpstart your car, right?
Yeah.
So Sears comes out and I see him roll. I can just see his head.
Yeah.
So I see him rolling down. I'm like, I cannot believe this. This is so embarrassing. My car would start. He gonna roll the window down, talking about, I got you now.
Got you now.
He's like, why didn't you call me? I was like, I think I misplaced your number.
Yeah.
I couldn't get rid of her after that, though.
Yeah.
You couldn't get rid of her?
Ever. Could I,
Ever.
babe?
But honestly, I threw his number away because I was like, I don't want to go down that path. I knew he was a hustler. He seemed like a hustler to me. And coming along with that is a whole bunch of women. And I was done with that because, I talked to other guys that was in the streets and stuff.
Baby, they told me they used to be on you heavy, Block. They told me you was like one of them, before there wasn't it girl.
Right.
They said you was one of them girls in the city.
Hey, don't tell her that. Don't tell her that.
But honestly, you know what? For me, it was never really about the money. You know how sometimes females get with guys like that because they want the money, they want this, they want. For me, it was like to maintain.
Yeah.
Because I was putting myself through college, so a lot of times those guys was giving me money for school and books and stuff like that. So it really, because I remember one time when I first met him. He gave me a wad of money. We was getting ready to go to the comedy show.
I remember that.
He's like, go buy yourself something. And I literally, I bought some shoes, bought an outfit, and I brought him the money back.
I
He's
was like,
what
wow,
is this?
you only spent that little bit of money? Perfect.
Right.
So you, in your mind, you was like, I got a winner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
We don't bring change back.
Right. I'm like, here's the rest of your money. I mean, that wasn't my thing to just blow all the money. So I thought he just wanted me to get a little something and bring it back. He was like, really?
Right. So, so that's how that's kind of how I got started.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was hustling in the streets, and I wasn't doing no small hustling. It was the big hustling. And, it just came to a point where everything came to a head. And I remember coming home one night, and I was like, Blondie, I'm getting ready to change my life. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of looking over my back. I don't want to have to kill nobody. I don't want nobody to kill me. I don't want to go to do 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And so I had an aunt in Lexington, Kentucky, and we actually, I remember I was like, babe, like I'm leaving, and she was like, well, you're not leaving me.
Without hesitation.
Yeah.
Like, I look back now, I was like, was I crazy?
Yeah, she didn't have
Crazy
no
in love.
fam, crazy in love.
I just was like, I'm going too.
She was in love. I was doing my thing. Wasn't I,
Oh,
babe?
I heard. You have to give me one of those stories about being in the bushes.
Oh, girl. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Yeah, so our stakeouts, that's what we used to call it. Yeah, I used to be staking out. That's when he lived in these apartments. The ones that I live with, you remember, by Brebeuf.
Yeah.
Girl, used to be with the binoculars in the bushes, like, you not calling somebody back? Yep, I know how to figure out what you're doing. All in the bushes with the binoculars. So I got the whole rundown story waiting for him to come out. I mean, I look back, I'm like, the crazy stuff that I did.
Did the girls used
Crazy.
to be like, "Ooh, don't mess with y'all know Doug's girlfriend is crazy"? Did they used to say that about
Nah,
you?
they used to more or less like, you know, the pretty girls. Like, oh, she
Yeah.
ain't nothing. I beat her up if she say. They would hate. They hated
Yeah,
her.
they were hating.
They
They
were
were like,
Of
haters.
course, you a pretty
yeah,
girl. Yeah.
like one of them called me a taco. I'm like, I'm not even Hispanic. Talking about you with that taco. I'm like, what?
Right.
I mean, just
But
craziness, you know?
she's just genuinely a sweetheart. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Like,
you.
actually, her brothers, her sisters, they all. Her mother did a great job because they all genuinely loving people. They real, you know, and like. It's just like, wow, like sometimes I just be seeing other people and they just not with people who really care for them or care about them, and they stay with them for years, and I'd be like, man, I'm glad
In
I
the
got.
prison, putting themselves in
Yeah.
the prison.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So I
right.
just be so glad, you know what I'm saying? But at any rate, so we moved on to Kentucky.
Yeah.
She was, you can tell them about, she was in college.
So I actually was in college when I met him. So I was an undergrad in Indianapolis. And so when he said he was going to move to Kentucky, I immediately applied for University of Kentucky, got accepted, transferred. So I finished school there, ended up getting pregnant with our first child together because he wanted
That's
a baby.
the one that's in college now.
That's he
He's
graduated
graduated.
Oh,
already.
okay,
yeah, so
okay,
he's
okay.
getting ready to be 25 on the 20th. So he's graduated from college.
Let
He's
me
a
stop you
mechanical
there.
engineer. And
He's a mechanical engineer. I just like to point those things
Yes,
out.
yes,
Yeah.
young
Me
black
being-
man. Yes.
Me
Right.
coming from the streets and being a hustler and selling bricks, and to have a son that I'm just so proud he's an engineer, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud that she's got her
Yeah.
doctorate too. Like that's
Yeah.
just like unheard of where I come
Right.
from.
And not only that, Doug, it's rare
Yeah.
that you make it out.
Right,
we
it
call
is.
it
Right.
we call it without no scars. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
yes, you have the mental scars of
Yeah.
the game, but thank God, like you never had to step foot in prison. You don't have that's not your
Right.
story.
Right.
Right.
And like you said, you wasn't from what I heard. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I wasn't in Indiana,
Right.
but from what I heard about Doug, like Doug was the man. Him and
He
his
wa-
crew,
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
had like
Was.
all that, so,
Right.
sold up
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you, it was the transition was hard for him at first. When we left Lexington, when we left Indianapolis and went to Lexington, he would like say, "I'm going back. Like, you know, this isn't the lifestyle I want to leave." And I would pick up the phone and call his mom, like, you know, Doug's talking about coming back. And I would always tell him,
I'll
"Well,
be
I'm
so
not. I'm not.
pissed.
I would say I'm not gonna go to try to, you know, make sure
Make
that
him
he stays."
stay, yeah.
And he's like, "I'm a grown man. Why are you calling my mom?" Because of course she would call him, and be like, "D, that's what they call him. You better not come back home." But in hindsight, you know, he's like, "I'm really glad you did that," because
Right.
he would do that a lot.
What was it? Was it the struggle of the missing a hustle, the fast life, or was it the money?
It was the money, it was the hustle. Like I had to stop watching rap videos and stuff because it used to make me want to go back to the streets.
It was a trigger.
Because I always loved flashy things. That's really what brought me to hustling. I liked the cars and the jewelry, and I wasn't even thinking about the girls at the time, but it was the cars and the jewelry and the flashy stuff.
In that rush you get from making
Yeah,
money.
it was
that rush,
crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I made it out, boy, because I'd probably just now be getting out.
So what
Boy.
did you do when you was like when you first made that transition? What did you do to make money? Did you get a job? Or?
I did. I had a terrible job. I used to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror literally like, this can't be life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do
So
this.
he was a bus monitor once.
Once
so
I was.
he was a bus monitor.
No, tell him
before.
the bad one, though. That
The
was
car
easy
wash?
job. It wasn't the car wash. It was the it's a car auction.
The car auction.
So I went there detailing cars. It was crazy because like that was really the first time I really had to like answer to somebody or somebody telling me to do this and that. And And from where I was, still, it was like I had to take these orders from somebody that I felt shouldn't be giving me orders.
Right.
You know, so I did work that for a bit of time, and, you know.
And he had some good lunches. Girl, I used to be hooking him up with the lunches. And he said everybody used to be like, man, what are you eating?
Hey, boy.
So I hooked you up with the lunches.
You go in that break room, they be like, wow, like, what's she cooking? I was so young, and they was older, and they was like, man, like, your girl be cooking like that. Yeah, so, yeah.
Throwing down.
You tried to make him feel good where he was, support him in any way you could.
Yeah. So then we left Lexington. No, when she graduated.
When I graduated from University of Kentucky, I graduated with education, so that's my undergraduate degree.
That was mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I was a school teacher.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, me too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was
crazy.
like, I looked at how much they got paid. I was like, oh no, we got to go somewhere else. So my older brother lived here 1st. So we were like, well, let's go to Atlanta. So we moved to Atlanta, had a plan, and just moved.
But we
here.
came to Atlanta like most people, and where we from, like we from Indianapolis, Indiana, like people look like us. A lot of times they don't do so well, right? Or either they go to the plant and work, and that's about it. Pretty much for the most part. That's when they think they made it. But we came down here and we saw all the people looking like us doing so good, and like, wow, like they not selling dope. They
Isn't
not
it
hustling.
inspiring to come back to see your people?
Right.
It is.
Yeah, you know, and that's how it was for me when I came to college. Like, I couldn't believe, like, man, it's really, because I'm a northerner. I'm from up north. And, you know, up north, you hustle. You see black families, you know, meeting. But coming down south here to Atlanta, it was like the mecca of what, you know, of what it looked like.
Yeah. So I said, this, I just feel like home. This is where we're supposed to be. So anyway, boom, we moved down here. We had just built the house. No, we just bought a brand new house in Lexington before we moved here. And I actually went to architecture school for a short period of time. So I had, we had bought a new house. Then I had my architectural teacher build us an addition on this house, right? So it was like we bought it, we did that, then it was like, let's go.
Yeah.
So anyway, I remember calling my real estate agent. I was like, hey, what you think we can get for my house? And she told me, and it was like, I think 30 or 40,000 more than what we paid for. And I was like, wow. So that's kind of sparked me to be, you know, doing a lot of flipping and
that's where the
stuff.
light bulb went off at?
Right, it did. And then also when we was down there, I had a commercial cleaning business. It did really well. We used to do big things like Best Buys, Garden Ridges, and stuff like that.
So you was always finding a way to get to the
Yeah.
money.
And that was a hustle, too.
I made a
'cause
lot of
remember,
money.
we used to have to go door by door to different businesses and knock on the door, give them a flyer like, hey, would you be interested in our cleaning services? So we hustle at
You
hard.
you know what? You just a down chick.
was.
You just a down chick. It's hard to find, Doug. I see why you hold on to it. Yeah, because that's where, you know, girl, this day and age, you think somebody going to knock on the door, what they do, talking about asking somebody to do something?
Oh, clean their house. Clean their house.
Yeah.
And she would do it, you know, like, she would just do it. So it was great.
Yeah.
She always had put, even with the flipping now, you know, she gets her hands dirty.
Yeah,
You know,
I do.
She was cleaning back then, and you know, she will get dirty.
I be seeing her.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah. So when the light bulb went off that day when that man told you get an extra 30 or 40, you was like, I need in.
I need in.
Yeah.
I need in. So we came down here. I didn't have no intentions of really dealing with real estate as far as a real estate agent. And I remember I wanted a clothing store. So I did a she went and found the space. I remember she went looking. I just talked about it. So I had a clothing store, and I also had in the back, I had a recording studio. Some big guys recorded back there. But anyway, the lady, when we moved down, the lady that sold us our house, her name is Elizabeth Johnson, right? When I pulled up, she was like I say, we from Indianapolis, but she had like cornrows. She had a convertible red Benz, and then she was like, hey, y'all want to go back to my house and meet our husband?
Yeah.
She had the huge, probably 8,000 square foot mansion with the, what else? She had the pool there. She had the wraparound stairs. She had the theater and all that. And I'm like, wow, I had never seen nobody look like me had that kind of money, legitimately.
I know you was thinking like, wait a minute.
Like,
and she was
in the dope game.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she was like, hey, if you ever want to get in the business, just go to this school, which is Barney Fletcher, same place she graduated from, and I'll show you the game. So literally, I went to school, called her, hey, what's up? You gonna show me the game? Yeah, pull up at the mansion today. And she just showed me the game like from day one.
Wasn't a gatekeeper.
No, she like literally took us under her wings. I mean, just like making us feel a part of her family. So that was a good transition coming from Lexington here.
Yeah,
So at least we knew someone outside of my brother,
Right,
So that
right.
really was like the spark. But still, even when he started real estate, he started that and was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this," because he had to do a lot of cold calling.
Yeah.
So once again, what was I doing? Getting in the car, driving around.
Looking for
Looking for
sale by
FISBOs.
owners.
They call them FISBO, for sale by owner. So I had a notebook. I write them down. Give him, I might just be out and about. Give him the notebook like, "Hey, I found these homes." So then he would call to see if they want him to come by and do a presentation. So,
Right.
he just stuck with it. I was so proud of him.
Oh, it was tough, boy. I don't want to I hated just calling people like,
Yeah.
hey, da-da-da, you want to sell your house?
Right.
Yeah.
For hours.
I was like, "You can do it, babe. Keep going."
I will say this, through all the ups and downs in real estate, like, I feel like most women would have asked their husband to go get, hey, why don't you just go do this part-time, go get you another job and stuff like that. But she never said that ever once.
Right.
She supported your dream.
She supported
Right.
me, and
Yeah.
it took me a little bit of time to take off. And I could still remember, like, after you run through all the hustling money and at times ain't so great, it was times like 20 years ago, I'd be like, damn, babe, like, what am I going to put gas in the car, or am I going to get my hair cut? And then at the time, she was still getting money, so, like, I might go get my car, and she be done put $50 on my steering wheel or something like that. Like, she might get taxes, and I ain't doing so good.
Yeah.
Here go $1,500, babe. So I always tell her I never forget that kind of stuff,
You
know.
can't.
I don't. So
Yeah, you can't forget it.
Right.
Yeah, that's big. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
Because, like, again, I'm not bashing women at all, but I'm
Right.
just stating the fact.
Yeah.
Most women aren't staying down.
nah,
And then if they are staying down, they're staying down with being, as the Bible say, a running faucet
Right.
in your ear.
Right.
And jump.
Exactly.
Like, you need to do something. Oh, you sorry.
Right,
Oh, I make more
right.
money
Right,
than you.
right.
Which just tears our men down.
Yeah.
But here it
Exactly.
was, you was able to see through it, hold on,
Right.
love your man,
Right.
through the good, through the bad.
Right.
Like, really what
Right.
vows are really,
Yeah.
really about.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why y'all able, I understand now,
Right.
that y'all have a strong foundation.
We do.
Right.
Yeah, and it
We
wasn't
do.
built on quicksand.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah, it's
And
definitely strong.
And it's crazy, like, because it's things that I still want out of life that I buy her and I ain't even bought myself yet. You know what I'm saying? And she be like, like I always used to tell her I give you the world if I can. You know what I'm saying?
And I'd be like, "I'm cool. I have
Oh, y'all
enough."
making me want to be
I
in
do.
love.
I do. And the thing is, like when you've been down for so long, so like I said, there were years where, we didn't have, so you learn to live a certain way.
Yeah.
So then when you do have it, you still kind of like in that mindset. So I'll be like, "I'm cool. I don't need nothing." You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Because it's just, you kind of get used to just living like a certain way, and then it's like, I'm content. It's like a whole lot of stuff I'm not really materialistic,
So when I first started going up, and we used to start going out and stuff like that, and I'd be like, hey, to the front door, hey, we parking. Just different stuff. We going here, we doing this. She used to be like, Doug, no. I'm like, girl, we living. Like, we done been down long enough. Like, we can live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did you go, okay, so when did you decide to go to real estate school? How did that come
I
about?
actually
begged
got
her for
he
years.
begged me, so I actually just got my license 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Approximately.
About 3 years ago, because he, I was watching him for years, and it really just wasn't my passion. I've been in education for almost 25 years, so that was really my passion, is serving people in any kind of capacity. But real estate, I was like, no, plus I don't want to see another test, another blah, blah, blah. I know it's going to be hard. He was like, I know you can do it. So finally one day I'm like, are you going to pay for the class? He's like, yeah, I'll pay
Absolutely.
for it. So I was like, all right. So I signed up. I did the 2-week class, cram course. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? It was super hard.
They
but-
say that test is
Oh
hard.
my gosh.
They say you
boy.
could go to school for it, but they say that test is
Yes.
The
hard.
test is
It
crazy.
was super hard. So I just was like, really in the back of my mind, I was like,
She went
it-
hard.
I
She
did.
went hard. Listen.
But honestly, it wasn't about me. I wanted to make him proud,
Oh, did
because
you?
it's like he wanted, because it's like at first I still really didn't want to do it.
Girl, till
but
she-
it's like he wanted me to do it so bad. I just was like, I'm going to just do
But
it
now
for him.
what about when them checks be coming in? Because I be
Girl,
seeing you on
I'll be
closing
like,
day. I be
hey.
seeing you on closing day.
Hey,
Right.
she be geek, like, but that for the first.
Calculating my money.
Yeah.
It's like, I see you over there calculating.
Yeah, I'll be like, boy, you mathing. Woo, you mathing. But yeah, she started seeing them checks really from the
Right.
flips and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I must say, she flipped with me way back, maybe in
Yeah.
07 or something like that. But it's crazy. I begged her to flip back then. for so long. By the time we bought our first flip together, that's when the market crashed. So
that's what I was about to ask y'all. That was like 2008, right?
Yeah.
I was grown. I was 1 year into prison, but I remember like the economy taking a bad, you know, a downturn. I lost my house during that time while I was locked up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was a crazy time.
But y'all weathered the storm.
Yeah,
we did weathered the storm. You know, thank goodness, because throughout everything I had my I was teaching. So if nothing else, you know, that was like my constant check, you know what I'm saying, coming in. So that really just,
and I was making money. I started making money in real estate, and I wasn't even selling houses in the beginning. I was doing something called BPOs. It's like a short appraisal. So I was making really a lot of money like that, but it was like I had so many bills and was doing so much, and the kids was growing up. You know what I'm saying?
That it just seemed like it wasn't nothing really coming in.
So then when I start selling houses, then I start kind of like, you know, and then when I start flipping, that's a.
So you've been in the game how long, Doug? You've been in the real estate game?
23 years, something like that.
Yeah, 23 years.
Since we moved here.
Does it give you that same rush? When you flip
it do now.
When you build these bricks, it give you the same rush
It do give me the same rush. And, you know, I sometimes, you know, we work on houses. I don't do it as much now, but, like, when we working on them houses, and like I like to just see the whole process, and it's like everybody might be gone, I might be in that house for an hour.
Girl, and I'll be in the truck. I'm like, if he don't come,
I'm checking stuff out. I mean, I love what I do, so I'll be doing this until I'm about 90.
Right.
You know, till I really can't move around. But but the flipping is it's just like you get to help so many people.
Yeah,
and the way we flip, we give people like they got beer, money, champagne. So the same people that's buying a low price house, 250, 300,000, like they got fixtures and stuff like that in the house that's like 600,000, $1 million. Seriously, but you know we love to do it.
I just seen that countertop y'all put in one of those houses. It's like the I don't know the exact name of it. The black and white one.
That's Carrera.
Okay, and what do you call it when it go down on the side?
Like
waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall.
Right. So that's all the stuff you usually don't get in that price house. You know what I'm saying? So when they come in there and they see that stuff, like they just be so thankful. People break down, start crying, praying when they get the house, all that stuff.
But you know what? I remember somebody said to me the other day, I was talking about like, you know, just feeling like, you know, the money's not coming in the way I want it to come in, you know, and I understand too. I come from that mentality, and I have to tell myself, you've only been home 2.5 years.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? To give myself some grace. But I said that to say this: prosperity follows purpose.
Yes,
so you're following your purpose, so the prosperity, and then not only that, I pay attention to y'all, and I notice how y'all freely pour back into others. Yes. Like right now, you got the young man out of Indiana that you're helping, and he's getting ready to. He just passed one of his tests.
He did.
And it's crazy because, you know, he didn't think he could do it in the beginning. You know, he came up from very, very, very humble beginnings. I think he used to live with his grandmother. We still do live with his grandmother, but when I first went down to Indianapolis and started talking to people, it was like he happened to be there. So, boom, he was like, hey, you doing this, whatever. Let me get a book. Boom, I was out of books at the time. I sold out. So I was like, tomorrow I'm going to be somewhere. Call me about this time and just pull up on me. Well, he came and pulled up on me. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, he might be serious. Right. Yeah. So then he started calling me and stuff. And then I came. We had a big event in Indianapolis a few months back. Yeah. So then he came to that, you know, and he was still talking. And then he was like, invest like $20,000 or $30,000. I was like, you got $20,000 or $30,000, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Come to find out, this kid, he's a little hustler too. He got an ice cream truck, and he done saved up him $20,000 or $30,000. That's
what's up.
You know, and so I told him, I was like, look, like I can just tell you, hey, come on, let's get this money. You know what I'm saying? Flipping houses, but I want to give you something else to go along with it, which was becoming a real estate agent. So I said, I ain't gonna fool with you on this flipping unless you get your license. He never have studied in his life through high school, none of that stuff. But he used to call me every night and be, I'll just study for 3 or 4 hours and this stuff. And he was doing good in the class. But his first day at the class, I can still remember, he was like, don't nobody look like me in here. Like, it's crazy. Like, Indiana, he like, this is crazy. Like, am I in the right place? Like, dude, like, you going to be doing things that other people ain't doing. So this is where it starts. So anyway, I'm just so happy for him.
I am too. Because guess what, Doug, you just changed not only his life, but those down his
Got a
generation,
little
the
boy
trajectory.
already.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
changing, you're breaking curses
Yeah.
that
That's
you don't
right.
even realize that
That's
you're breaking
right.
because that's a young black man who
Yeah.
could have
Right.
easily been caught up. Y'all see what gun violence is doing
Yeah.
today to our kids,
Yeah.
or just another dope dealer and be caught up and be an 8-digit number. How most
Right.
of us really
Yeah.
are.
Right.
So that's another thing, Doug, that I know that God looks on and rewards you for.
Yeah.
So tell me, what made you write the book?
I'm gonna tell you what made me write the book. So I actually got a person by the name of Clarence McNair, and he kind of like I started working with him. I have a client named Safari. I'm sure you may know him, Safari, and
I see you breaking all that money with Safari. Yeah, I be seeing
That's
y'all.
my guy.
Yeah, I be seeing y'all.
yeah.
Yes.
So shout out to Safari, but I lost my train of
So
thought.
Safari introduced Clarence to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. He wanted to find a house in Atlanta, right? So, boom, I'm like, all right, cool. So he was in Baltimore, so I'm on the phone talking with him, FaceTiming him, stuff like that. Houses, and then, like, we kind of got to talking, and I kind of told him my story. He had already wrote books, like, with T.D. Jake's daughter and all these people, and he works very closely with Pinky Cole, too. And he was like, you need to tell people your story. And he was like, we writing a book. I was like, okay, babe, you're going to have to help me write this
Right.
book.
Yeah.
And he
Right.
kind of just laid it out, and with the help of Blondie, we
Because you had
did
a
it.
school teacher on your
Right.
side.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So, but really, it was for, this is who it was for, was the people who out here hustling. It was for the people, even the girls that's on the pole. They don't know
Yep.
what to do with their money. It's for the people who might have had their grandmother, their auntie, they might have passed and they got left $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. They don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Them is the people I'm aiming for.
Right.
The people who,
Again, breaking
You know what I'm
curses.
saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, breaking
Right.
curses.
Exactly.
And I love the name, The Art of
Flipping
Flipping
Bricks.
Bricks. I love the play, the
Right.
metaphoric
Right.
play. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was just the perfect name for the book, The Art of Flipping Bricks, and people can definitely relate to it, especially
Right.
the people who knew me and
Show
knew where
us
I
the
come
book,
from.
Doug. Show us
Right.
the
I
cover.
actually
Like,
brought this book for you.
I have one, but did you sign
I-
this one?
I will sign
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, because
see,
you
this
know I
is-
supported you when you first came out,
did,
baby. My
you
pre-sale and post, yeah.
You did, and I appreciate it. But this is the special gift box, and I brought a couple in here for some people that you care about
Oh,
that you
thank
can
you.
give to them. So I will give you this, but this is definitely the book, The Art of Flipping Bricks. It was actually forwarded by Coach K, that has the QC, the label.
Yeah.
So he actually forwarded it, and Clarence wrote it with us. And
I love it. I love it.
definitely.
I love it.
Show 'em
I
what's
love it.
inside.
I love it. I love it. The art of flipping bricks.
Yeah.
And then you have the bricks of the
Yeah.
houses, in your hand.
Right.
This is so cute. See you at the top.
See you at the top because
Okay.
you on your way.
Enjoy the
That's
dance.
right.
This is so cute. I love it, guys.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Thanks
Right.
so much, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this book, and Doug, I remember another thing I have to say is I remember like, Doug, how do I get my book in Walmart? And most people don't want to tell that.
Right.
But Doug told me like it's a process.
Yeah.
But when you're ready, just let me know. But
Yeah.
this is what you have to do. You
Yeah.
have to have so many sales hit. You need to put
Right.
the book on Amazon because
Right.
I didn't want to put it on Amazon.
Right.
But he didn't hesitate to tell
Right.
me what
And
I
I kept
needed to
rooting
do.
for you.
Right.
Every
Yeah.
time I
Yeah.
seen you doing something,
Yeah.
like, keep going. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, you really do, Doug. You really do. You one person that I can say, you know what I mean, that really pour into other people.
Right.
Yeah, that really
He
pour
does.
into other people.
Yeah.
But see, and I see now, he gets his cup filled from you.
Yeah.
You constantly pour into
Constantly.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you constantly pour into him.
And I tell you something about mentees too. Like, I got a super mentee that's far surpassed me as far as a realtor and everything like that. And I did get burned out for a short period of time in real estate, but it's funny how he started me like getting back into it. Like, he was inspiring me to get it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Right.
I'm so proud of EJ. He really made me proud. I kind of look at him like a son.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? So when I first started bringing him around the family, I remember my sons was like, who is his dad? He
Yeah.
came to a couple of my sons' games, so I had to tell him who he was and who I was, who he was, and I was helping him out and trying to put him down the right path and stuff. So, my sons always praise me for that. They know I really be trying to help, you know what I mean?
And I think that's real good for him because in 2013, we lost my stepson, his son, to gun violence, and it was really hard for Doug.
Yeah.
I can remember that day like it was yesterday. So I think it's good for him to be able to pour into other people. Right. And I always say, like, I don't know how you move, how you just go on, And he's like, keeping myself busy and just praying. And I can just remember, there were times, our relationship has been up and down. We've been together almost 30 years, so nothing's going to be perfect. And you just get tired of, not being able to communicate and just this and that, So I remember at one point I was like, you know what? I should really be done with this relationship and just do something else. It's getting on my nerves, But I just felt like it was bigger than me. I just felt like it was almost like a spiritual journey that I was going on.
Right.
And so not too long after that is when Dejan passed. And so I just felt like me being with him is bigger than me. It's bigger than just me because no one else really would have been able to comfort him. I feel like the way that I could because of our history and the length of time that we have been together, So at that moment, I knew this is where I need to be, just work things out. Things aren't going to be perfect, but things are going to get better. And right now, I mean, things are never going to be perfect, but like this is the feeling and the closeness that we have and doing business together. Like this is it.
Yeah,
this is
it really is. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not in y'all relationship, but on the outside looking in, it really is. It's I think every girl when she's young, she dreams of getting married and like really being happily married, and like you said, not to say that relationships don't come with ups and downs because they do, but the beauty of it is y'all are able to work through it.
That's right.
Y'all are able to work through it, and you're able, and I know, if you hadn't have been there for him when he lost something so dear to him, who's to say that Doug would still be able to be Doug?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it was so crazy because, I can still remember the call because the first day they didn't know. They just knew he hadn't came home. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know where he is. He'll come home tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
You wasn't tripping.
Yeah. And then I remember I got the call, and I can just remember sitting there in your mind, you trying to figure it out. You just can't figure it out, though. So I can just still remember walking out of the house, and I probably walked around the neighborhood for hours just endlessly walking around the neighborhood.
Walking.
Like, it's like I couldn't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I can still remember when we went, it was snowing. It was snowing down there when all this happened. So I came either the next day or the day after, and they took me to where it happened. And it was like you could still see
the blood.
You know what I mean? And that really like freaked me out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just look at it like he with me now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, it's little things that remind me of him that I see at precise moments, and I know it's him. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how that one went. You know what I'm saying? But
too, Doug, I think too, maybe that's why you do pour so much into young men,
right?
Because you don't want them to experience the same, you know.
Yeah. And he's a good kid, too. He just was in the wrong place because, like, he lived down here for some time. He went to college for some time. He was really just trying to regroup. And,
to come back.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And it was like, that was the craziest thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we had a lot of tragedy in our family, though. It's crazy. So it's like you just got to keep going. Just like I had a family. My family, my aunts and cousins and uncles, uncle and cousins, kids.
9 family members.
At one time
the Missouri
passed.
duck boat incident.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your family.
That was my family. Like my direct auntie and cousins. It's like my brothers, and so it was.
I remember that. Yes. I wasn't home, but I remember seeing it like all over the news, and I was just like, I could not imagine an entire family.
Right.
Oh, I was getting the calls. I remember when they was like, okay, who gonna go down here? And like, you got to still go down there and be like, that's him, that's her, that's him, that's her. And I can just remember they sent my uncle, and I was like, I hope he make it out of there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's
I'm so sorry for y'all loss.
So much trauma, you know what I'm saying? And, we just learn from it, and we get stronger. And, like, I just feel like it's angels with me now, like, all the time. And, like, if I don't talk to them, they let me know, like, hey, we here. You know what I'm saying? So,
with your faith, So, know, it's good, too. A lot of people, sad to say, don't believe in God.
That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, they
I know.
don't believe
We're
in
not
God.
really religious people, but we definitely believe in God.
Well, I would say we're in terms of choosing one religion and going to church, you know,
Yeah.
because he was brought up practicing Christianity.
Yeah.
I was brought up, I was a Muslim, you know.
Okay.
So I was brought up practicing Islam. So we kind of talked about that when we got together, like, how are we going to raise our children? And for me, what's always worked is just doing right by people.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like God has blessed me because I do right by people. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I'm careful about the words that I choose and say when I'm talking to people, you know. And so I just always tell my boys, you know, God created us, and you have to do right by people while you're on earth and make sure that you're, you know, doing the right thing even when no one's watching. So that
Right.
seems to, you know, work for us. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, they're older now, so if they choose to, you know, choose one religion, that's fine, you know, as long as they have that
I
ground.
believe if religion make you a better person, whether it's Christian, Muslim,
Yeah.
whatever it is, like,
But
do
you
it.
have to have, I just feel like you have to be connected.
You do.
Yeah, you
to
do.
something that's higher than
You
yourself.
I
have to.
agree.
Yeah, and
You
you know,
do.
y'all probably don't know, but my dad's a pastor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my father's a pastor, so it was like when I got in trouble, nobody could believe it.
Right.
Not Pastor Wright's doing,
Right.
you know, and I had been raised in church my entire
And you was
life.
in college too?
No,
you went
I
to college?
had graduated already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had taught school for 2 years before I jumped head first into the
Right.
streets
Oh, my
or whatever.
goodness.
Yeah,
Right.
but it was greed. It was
Right.
greed and feeling like, you know, once you get a taste of that money in that life, I always dated dope boys.
Yeah.
But when you get a taste of that money in that life,
Right.
you
Yeah.
start to feel invincible.
Yeah,
Right.
you
And
do.
then I ran with like a gang of dudes. I didn't really hang around girls, so it was just
Okay.
like
Right.
everybody knew, like you
Right.
can't touch me. You know, you can't
right.
get near to me. Them
Untouchable.
other dudes gonna lay you down.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it, you know,
Right.
but in that, and when I got in prison, what I remembered telling myself one day is that you can't go off daddy's relationship with God.
Right.
You can't go off
Right.
granny's,
Right.
and you
True.
can't go off with mommy.
Right.
You gotta know God for yourself.
Yeah,
do.
that's
You
right.
know, and I just, you know, believe that you have to have a foundation, and
Yeah.
you have to believe that there's someone
You do.
you know, greater
do.
than you.
Yeah.
But going forward, I
Yeah.
know what's coming up, because first of all, y'all stay busy.
I
Y'all
know.
stay busy. Y'all got the YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
y'all, you know, are always doing something. So is
Right.
there something up? Because the other day I seen some kind of little post that alluded to something. It's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, so of course we have the Doug&Blondie 95, which is our YouTube. So we put content on that. Then we're also being shopped around for a flipping show right now. So the whole
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
the
so
whole-
are we looking
Definitely.
for like HGTV
well,
or
HGTV, A&E, OWN, like whoever, wherever
Right.
it lands. So
Yeah.
there's a big time producer that
Huge
saw-
producer.
So basically, she saw us, like what she saw the potential. Was like, I can definitely see y'all on TV. I love what you all do. So she created a sizzle. We had someone that like recorded us going around to like some of our flips and did like a Zoom interview,
Right.
and she put a package together. So
We got some
it's
calls
real
from some big
promising.
stations. Some of the
Yeah.
big stuff she done is like Deadliest Catch, 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
stuff, she has shows right
So
now.
she's big time.
Yeah. They've been
Yeah.
on TV
Yeah.
for decades.
Right.
but I could see that for y'all, and not
Right.
just saying it because y'all here.
Right.
Y'all, I can see it for y'all.
I feel like
Yeah.
we entertain.
Right.
Yeah,
That-
y'all know.
that-
And you know what? I don't know if y'all realize it. You really could finish his words and his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like y'all yin and yang, like
Yeah.
y'all just bounce right off each other.
That's
Right.
what someone else said, and I
Right.
guess I really don't realize it because it's just so natural.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because it's crazy. Like, we've been together, so it might sound crazy, but, like, I just feel like she family. Like, not like she my wife or whatnot. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been together so long.
Yeah.
Of course, we are family, but it just seemed different.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Oh, well,
word
we
is.
speaking
but-
that for 2024.
Okay.
That
Right.
show that we
Yeah.
get that flipping show.
And
Oh,
what
it's
else? Tell
coming.
them what else. Tell them what
Okay,
else
so
today.
also, you know, with us being like a lot of people look at our relationship, a lot of people see us in real estate. So we got a book called Doug&Blondie. We nailed it.
Yeah.
The blueprint for real estate and
In
relationships.
relationships.
Oh,
Yeah.
R&R.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
R&R,
Yeah.
real estate and relationship.
And it's a twist to it. So
Yeah.
the book talks a little bit about our background, you know,
Right.
where we're from when we first met. And then it talks, each chapter kind of goes into things that you need for your relationship. but it's relatable to fixing up a house or
Building.
building a house.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah.
That was smart.
All right, so just like every relationship got to have a strong foundation. So then we go into like when you're dealing with real estate and you build, like you got to have a strong foundation or the house gonna fall down.
Right,
And we go into it like that, the roof to keep everything inside. Like, so we did a whole twist on it, and people, they gonna love it because like a lot of people that they want to do something with their significant others, so they thinking about real estate, then they see us and they know, hey, they've been together for a long time, and they can let us know about this real estate. Let's get the book. So I think it's gonna help a lot of homes financially and, you know, relationship-wise too.
Oh, that's great. And it comes out when? Say it again.
December 19th.
December 19th.
It will first be at Amazon, and then it will go to Walmart, and then Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million, all that type of stuff.
And we believe in y'all. Get this right now. We're believing that the show get picked up, baby.
Definitely.
We see
claiming it.
this couple right here on there doing their thing. I'm really believing it. I'm excited for you guys. Before we leave,
before we leave, hold on one second. We so excited for you.
Yeah.
I mean, like this right here.
Like this is
Come
big.
on now.
Come on.
I seen you right. I seen you on social media, right? I was like, and I seen your set and everything like that, and I was just like, she really is doing the thing. Like she is doing it. And like you said, you've been home how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. People been home for 20 years and they ain't doing this.
Exactly.
So salute to you.
Thank
you know.
you. Thank you so much.
I've been rooting from you. I've been rooting for you since day one, and I just know you're gonna make it too. You done made it. You here.
And not only that, you know what I can say about Doug? Doug will always throw something in my DM encouraging.
That's
you
good.
know? And when I
good.
remember telling Doug that I had this idea, I was like, Doug, I'm going to do a podcast, eye. And, you know, time went by. You know, one morning what he said to me?
What?
He's like, Free, what's up with the podcast?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, Doug, it's coming, and I'm going to have you on. And then maybe 2 more months went by. And he like, Free, when we coming on the podcast?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, what's up?
But you know, I'm thankful for that. You know,
Right.
like never been disrespectful, never said nothing to me out the way. Just genuinely met me that day when I went to go look at that house for, you know, a dude from Indiana. And he just, you know, from that day forth, I could say that God made it. We also rented the house one weekend.
Oh, yeah. Definitely
down
the
on Peter
loft
Street.
downtown.
Down
Yeah,
there,
Peter
you know,
Street.
but ever since then, it's just like, just an unspoken
That's good.
angel that God put in your
That's
life to
right.
help push you along.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? To
That's
encourage
right.
you. So
That's
I'm
good.
thankful for that, Doug. It's like,
Definitely.
you know, he didn't picked up a baby sister. So.
Yeah, for sure, for
He'll
sure.
push you now. You put it out there. You
Hey,
see how he
boy.
be on me with them M&Ms.
Yeah.
Woo, and cereal.
And cereal.
I love cereal
Yes,
too.
me
Well, Doug,
too.
you here now. You see, it came.
Hey,
it's here.
hey, it's
I
live,
love it.
man. I love the color. It's one of my favorite
I
colors
love
right
it.
here.
Thank
so
you.
yeah, this
Yes.
look. You know what? This look real Miami-ish.
It
you
does.
Know what I'm saying? It look real fly.
It does.
And we look real fly up here.
Yes,
don't we?
y'all do. And y'all matching with the sofa and all
Hey,
that.
you know what I'm
Lord.
saying? Yeah, we do so much together, you know, when we out on different sites and just people interviewing us and stuff like that. And I can remember seeing couples that dress kind of coordinate sometimes. And I used to be like, babe, I ain't never coordinated. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
can't
just today,
tell.
she was like, I'm wearing gray today. I said, no, I'm wearing gray today. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I know he was like, yeah, I went and got such and such. He said it's gray. I said, you know I'm wearing gray today.
I said, that's all
Because
right.
it'll be a thing, like I'll get a certain color out. He's like, now you know I had that color out already. I'm like, well, let me go find something else. And then he had the nerve to wear the same
Just
color
a
I
little
had
bit.
on.
I'm trying to coordinate about 10%.
Yeah.
Just a little
Just a
bit.
little bit.
I can't get corny with it. Just a little
bit to make it look good.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
before we go, guys, I have to ask y'all this. It doesn't matter whoever go first. Tell me one thing that you feel like you're in bondage of and you need to break free from.
I would say for me, and Doug really helps me with this, is people's opinion, worrying about people's opinion.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people, you know, people get in this facade, like you look a certain kind of way, you should be confident, you should be this, but I've always been this person that's really not that confident sometimes. So I do value people's opinion, or sometimes worried about how is someone going to look at me, how is someone going to view me. Like people would say, like, where are you from, like your accent. And a long time, you know, a lot of times that would bother me, like, why are they saying that, like it's something wrong with it, you know.
Yeah.
So just I'm ready to break free and just don't worry about what people think about me. I'm doing me,
Yes.
period.
Yes. And your accent
Yes.
is your accent, honey, and it goes with you and your
Thank
personality,
you.
and it sets you apart from everybody
It
else.
do.
Yeah.
It do. do.
And Doug, what do you need to break free from?
I think I need to break free of. I still got like PSD from being in the streets, and like I'm always still looking over my back. I'm still always, even though I've been legal for over 20 years, I'm still just always, when I pull up at home, it's like I'm still a dope boy. So at some point, I just want to just be broke free of just like worrying about that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
We take the worrying, but Doug, I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
We can never ever stop watching our surroundings.
I know we can't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then too with y'all are like a public figure.
Yeah, true.
You know, and it's those people who, you know, it's always people lurking and
they
people
be
looking.
lurking.
So I think that not necessarily looking over your shoulder all the time, but definitely when you go home. You know, we never go home the same way.
Lord,
we never leave out the same
nah.
way.
Circle around the block.
Yeah.
Not turn the car off till you close the garage.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill myself closing this garage with the car on.
I'm going to tell you, it's so funny, though. I saw a meme the other day, and somebody was just looking back like this, and the person was like, me looking back at the garage door because I think somebody going to roll up underneath. So that's me, you know what I'm saying?
But I do. When I pull in the garage, I automatically put the car back in reverse.
Wow.
Boy,
I leave my foot on the brake and be looking in the rearview mirror to watch it go all the way down. And then I'll put the car in park. I still do that. It's just a habit. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll tear this whole garage up getting
know
out of
that's
here.
right.
Boy, they gonna have some problems. and then if they ever come, it's like, boy, they just got problems because I ain't going. I'll tear. So I ain't even gonna get into all that.
We're saving
I
for
said
the
I'll
next
tear
time.
this house up. She'd be like, what you gonna do with that? I will tear the whole back of this house up off. For real.
We'll save it for the next time when
Yeah.
y'all come back, when y'all had that show.
Right.
And y'all still, you know, think about a little girl like me.
Stop. We coming back with the book. We want everybody to check us out though. Where can they check you out?
I am at Real Estate with Blondie on Instagram.
And I'm with I Am Real Estate 1. And definitely go to Bricks and Blondie 95 on YouTube. Definitely check out the book at Barnes & Nobles. And where else we at? Barnes & Nobles, Books A Million, Walmart.com,
That's-
The Art of
Everywhere your
Flipping
books
Bricks.
are sold.
Yeah, you
Everywhere your
know,
books are
I'm
sold.
trying to change the trajectory of some people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
December 19th.
December
we nailed
19th.
it. We nailed it. The blueprint for what?
Real estate and relationships.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. I enjoyed y'all
Appreciate
so
you.
much. I love y'all. Thank y'all.
Definitely.
Thank y'all. This has been another great episode of Break Free Podcast with Real Estate Blondie and Doug. And I really enjoyed them. Y'all make sure y'all go cop the book and definitely keep them in prayer because they are breaking free from people's opinions and worrying about looking over their shoulders. And y'all remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen.
Hey. Thank you for having us.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thank y'all.